heartbreaks and promises.
Hi guys, it's me Sana with Katherine Cosmetics, and today I'm here to show you how to do a look for a date night, a casual night out with your girlfriends, or being a wedding guest, which seems to be on trend this season because it is the season of love, not the season of weddings. Everybody's getting married, everyone's having events, so we need to figure out a look that works for all of us in the right amount of time and the right amount of products, because the last thing we want to do is grab a big bag of stuff with brushes and product. We need a few things that if you need to touch up, you can, but generally just a little goes a long way, and I'll show you how to do that right now with our Katherine line here. So what I'm going to be starting with is the K-Sport Wow Stick, which is one of my favorite products, and I use this really as a base. So I've got nothing on my skin right now at all, and I'm just going to use this. Now what this product does, which is really, really interesting, first of all, it gives you SPF coverage, which it doesn't matter where you live or how sunny it is, whatever the weather's like, you always need SPF coverage because those UV rays do get in everywhere, and it's good to keep your skin nice and protected. So you rub that in like so. It also gives you a really, really nice base, because think of this as like a primer, whether it's for your foundation, your powder, whatever you use as your base. It just smooths out the skin, closes up any open pores, and just gives you a nice sort of dewy base to start off with. And it feels lovely, very soft, so you've got a good canvas to start. So we need a nice clean canvas before we go. Whatever foundation, powder, base you like to apply is completely up to you on this. I always tend to go with just a little bit of concealer all around my face, because anything too much on my face, for me, I don't like it, but it's whatever you're comfortable with, because that's what we like to promote, is you've got to be comfortable with what you're doing. So here I'm using just our concealer in medium, and I'm putting it on underneath my eyes, which is my trouble area, but you can do this anywhere you need to. I'm also doing it on top of my eyelids because I have a few darker eyelids than most people. And again, this is just to clear out any imperfections, give me a nice base to start. There's no rule or regulation as to where you want to put this. You just do this wherever you feel like you need to. And whatever you feel like covering up. And if you want to skip this step with the concealer and go straight in for your foundation, that's also okay. So I rub that in like so. And you can do anything you want for your base look here. A lot of people like to contour their skin a little bit, especially before events. If they know they're going to be photographed, that's okay. But we're really just going to be, in this tutorial at least, focusing on the eyes and focusing on the lips, and I'll be showing you how to do that in just a second, but I'll rub that all in, and it almost becomes like a bit of a cream, especially when it's put on over our Wow Stick. So it's much easier to apply, and you don't always need a brush to do certain things. I just like to rub it in like so and get all those nooks and crannies. And it's much easier actually if you do use your fingers, because I feel like you have a little bit more control. But then again, it's based on what you're comfortable with. So I pop that all in like so. And then what I'll do already right now, this will make me look a little bit scary, but I'm going to put a little bit of this concealer also on my lips. And the reason I do that is again, it nicely primes the lip out for you. It looks absolutely horrendous right now, so disregard it. But what it will do, once we do apply our lipstick, is it will stop the lipstick from chapping and also stop the color from bleeding, which if you're going to any event, any function, you're eating, you're drinking, you're talking, the last thing you want to be worried about is your color dragging out and spreading, especially when you're in the midst of having fun. You don't want to run off to the bathroom and reapply. So that's our base done. I'm going to take a little brush here, a little kabuki brush, and just blend that in, okay? And this might be the time that you want to use your powder. This might be the time you just want to use a little bit of setting powder. Whatever you feel is the right thing is okay. But this is what we're going to do for the moment. And this is just to take that excess product off. And don't go buy the lips right now. They look terribly scary, but it's all going to be worth it. Okay, so we'll start with the lips just to take this edge of his bizarre nude lips that I've got going on. Now, we're doing a Smokey Eye tutorial today, and one of the I guess, rules that people go by is if you have a heavier eye, you should have a lighter lip. Whatever you're comfortable with is the best rule. Whatever makes you feel confident, you feel happy, and whatever goes with whatever you're wearing. Your outfit is a big thing. So with my smoky eye is going to be a little bit more dramatic. I want the lips to be a little bit more subtle, but that doesn't mean they have to be plain. It doesn't mean they have to be boring. They can still be vibrant, but just a little bit more subtle. So I'm going to start off with using an A+ Friend lipstick in Patricia, which is one of my favorites. And I'll just apply all over my lips like that. Now you can see, because we had the concealer base, it hasn't come up very vibrant whatsoever, and that's kind of the look we were going for. And then what I would do is just to blot that, because our lipsticks, they're very silky, they're very, very moisturizing, which is again great because it doesn't hydrate out the lips, it keeps them very moist, very supple, and that's again a really good thing if you're drinking, you're eating, you're talking. Lipstick is the first thing that tends to go, so the more that we work on this, the better. So now that we have that, I follow it on with Miss Pam, which is my favorite. It's a very light color, but with any of this stuff, you can always build it up. You can build it up and tone it down. So a lot of functions that start in the daytime and then go on into the evening, you can build up. And there's only going to be a handful of products, so you won't need a lot to do that. So we take the Miss Pam and put it over the lip. A bit of lipstick on my teeth, excuse me. Okay, so put that over like that, and it's still, like you see, very, very mild, just suggestive. And I follow it over with Flaps Down lip gloss, which is lovely because these lip glosses are very, very pigmented as well. So if you didn't want to do the previous 2 steps and just go straight for the lip gloss, there's nothing stopping you from doing that. And you just follow up like so. Now, because we had our concealer already on, it doesn't have to be too rigid of a line, and plus the colors are quite light, they're very suggestive, so you don't have to be excessively strict with how much you apply and if it's in the right lines. We don't have the lip liner, we don't have a lot of prep in that, so it's just a nice base and the gloss really finishes it off. And what I would suggest for you to take with you then to your event is then just the gloss, because it's pigmented enough, you've got the concealer on there, the colour sticks so much better to the concealer anyway that you won't need to necessarily keep on reapplying, and when you do, gloss is easy to fit in the bag. So now we're on to our smoky eye. Now the product I'm going to be using for this is it's a bit of a star product. It's our eyeliner. Now this eyeliner is incredible because it's a very easy eyeliner to apply. It goes on very, very smoothly, it glides on, and then at the back of it there is a brush. And what this brush does is it allows you to blend it in and really maximize that smoky effect, which also means you don't have to take a brush with you, which also means you don't have to use your finger, and it just is a little bit more of a versatile product to do that. Now a lot of people often say, well, I don't really know how to do a smoky eye, I don't really know if it will suit me. Anything that we show you here today, take from it what you want. Use it as a base, as a guideline, but it doesn't have to be followed to a T. It's really dependent on how you feel that you would be comfortable, because that's the main thing. If you're comfortable and you feel you look good, you're going to exude that. So how I usually start with this is take the eyeliner from the top. Now, if you wanted to use an eyeshadow or anything like that, that would be absolutely fine, and that would go on first. And we will be back with more tutorials once we launch our eyeshadows with the date night collection we've got coming up. So hold that thought with me at least, but we're going to be doing this smoky eye just with our eyeliner. So we start off, and what I usually like to do is just take the edge of the eyeliner like so, and again, disregard how ridiculous it looks when I'm pulling my face and all the funny faces I'll make to do it. And really just to maximize the eyeliner here in the corners of the eye. It doesn't have to be the neatest thing because we're all about the blending, and it doesn't even have to be the right size, it doesn't have to match up. The blend is where we're going to get the effect of the smoky eye. So let's say we do it up to about halfway, almost 3/4 on the top of the eyelid, like so. And then we take our brush. And what I like to do is use this brush, and actually it might be a good idea just to soften the bristles a little bit depending on how much more of a blend you want, and bring it to the front of the eyelid. So you actually have a much more natural looking line that comes out from the base of the eye, which isn't a very staunch line of eyeliner. It's not very thick, and it's not very abrupt, which is really nice as well if you've got a daytime event, because you don't necessarily want to be too made up, at least in the beginning part of the day, and then you can always build that up. So we start there in the corner of the eye, and then we get to the outer corner, and this is really where the blending takes shape. And what I do is I use it to go up the eyelid and into this crease. Everybody's eyes are shaped differently. So again, there is no rule to this. There's no, set in stone instruction you have to follow. If you want to go for a bit more dramatic, I would suggest you go right into the crease and keep blending. There isn't necessarily a need to put on that much product because the eyeliner is very, very long lasting, but you do want to have enough to play around with. And of course, if you don't, you can always add on more and then keep blending. So here we go right into the crease there, like so. And if you can see, it gives us a really deep kind of shading at the corner of this eye, which we gradually bring across to the rest of the eye without it being too abrupt. So it doesn't look like you have a black eye. It does look very blended, and it's going to continue, and we'll finish off with the remainder of the products, but we'll just bring that out a little bit more. And again, if you wanted to not necessarily do this in the morning part of an event and do this in the evening, you just need this because you have both tools on either end. So it doesn't mean that you have to take too much around with you. And it's a fairly quick process. And most people, especially when it comes to their eyeliner, they get it down to a practice. So it's very quick for them. Now we do the bottom part of the eye. Now I have very dark eyes, I've got bigger eyes. You might have lighter eyes and want to accentuate a little bit more. I like to be a bit more suggestive on the lower part of my eyelid just because my eyes are already quite dark and I've got dark hair and dark eyebrows. But again, figure out what you're comfortable with. That's the key that I want to keep reinforcing. So we pop our eyeliner just here at the bottom of the eyelid, just on the lower lash line. And whether it joins up or not is fine. It's not necessary because again, we're going to be blending in. And with that corner, you just take your brush and you blend in. So it's not a very abrupt, harsh looking line. It's just, again, very suggestive. Whatever little bit of product is left on the brush, you can use to finish off the entire front part of the eye. That's what I usually do. There is nothing stopping you from lining the entire lower lash line and blending it out. There's nothing stopping you from just using the remainder product from the top of the eyelid on the lash line. It's really what you want to do with that because we've still got mascara to follow. So you can see what the complete look will be and then judge from that what you would want. If we're going for a bit of a dramatic smoky effect, so you just tilt it out and connect it up. And look, this is all being done with our brush on the back of our eyeliner. It's got nothing to do with, you can have your brushes at home and be a little bit more time sensitive with them, but if you're out and about, this is really all you need, and that's great because what a difference it makes. And right now we've just smoked this eye up with just the eyeliner and its brush. So I'll finish this up with a little bit of a cheat. I've got the Cheek Glow here in Flaps Down, which is another product I love, and it's supposed to be for the cheeks, but I don't use it just for the cheeks. I'm going to take a little bit on my finger here, and again, if you have a highlighter or you have an eyeshadow that you want to use for this purpose, that's still fine, but this does the trick just perfectly. So I put a little bit, and it does seem quite pink, so don't be alarmed because we're going to do our blending again. Just here on that sort of brow bone, and what that'll do first off is highlight that brow area, and we just keep popping that there, and it just seals our look off a little bit. We're not making it very pink. We don't want to give off the impression of like a bruise or something, but just keep doing that, and that will seal it off very, very nicely. And when we put it on the rest of our face and finish off our lips, it'll all come together. So do that. Now I'm going to do the other eye as well. So just to reinforce, this is a twist eyeliner. It twists very easily, so if it breaks on you, don't worry, just twist a bit more up. You don't need to carry a sharpener or anything around with you, which is great, because one of the big perks of going to all these events is wearing the nice clothes, and with the nice clothes come the accessories and the clutch bags and so on and so forth. So we don't want to overload them with makeup and things like that. We just want to have what we need. Shit. I'm tired of giving my love and getting nowhere. And then what I'll also do is just take a little bit of this and just be very lightly, very sparing with it, just in the corner of the eye. Again, it's a pretty versatile product because it does the trick. You can do this with any eyeshadow of your choosing, or you don't even have to do it at all, but I do like the Smokey Eye to be just a little bit blended, a little bit more suggestive. And again, if you in the evening want to build it up to do a little bit more, then you can. But this tutorial was really to show just how much you could achieve with not a huge amount of product. So we'll finish off the eyes with the mascara in black. You can use brown, whatever again you usually use. For Smokey Eye, it's usually a black mascara, but some people prefer to use brown, some people prefer colors. Whatever your comfort zone, go for it. So just start with the base of the lashes and work on up. Now I don't myself use eyelash curlers, at least on a regular basis, so I have a little bit of a way in which I do my mascara, but our mascara is very, again, it's light on the lash. Oh, excuse me, see? Q-tip again, just blend that out. Didn't even stick, good. So you just go in an upwards motion like so, and it's very light, but it's very pigmented, so you don't actually need an awful lot. And if you wanted to use an eyelash curler beforehand, do so. It's again very mild, and it'll last very much the entire day, so you won't need to reapply. And again for the bottom, now in the bottom I usually go for more of a zigzag kind of effect. That way you just have a little bit more control over what you're doing, because when you blink, sometimes people's eyes water, and that's where you see the residue come out. So if it's in a zigzag motion, it doesn't cling to the base of the eyelash at the lash line. So we finish up our mascara on the top here, and then a little bit on the bottom. And there's nothing stopping you from getting false lashes, or, you know, just to have fun with it. The main thing is to have fun and to enjoy what you're doing and how you're looking. That's the best part of it. So then back down to the cheek glow, my favorite. See, this is what I mean. You put it on at the bottom, you blink, and it instantly rubs down on you. Okay, so what I do with the cheek glow is I just put it on in the corners here of my cheeks. And it's, again, it's a glow. It's supposed to be very suggestive and mild. It doesn't have to be like a big block of color, but it all depends on how much you prefer to use. And also, don't forget, when you're out and about, your face will get a little bit heated anyway, and there's almost always the first thing to heat up are the cheeks. So it's always good to have a bit on, but not to necessarily overload. So when you pop it on like so, what I usually do is I take a tissue or a piece of blotting paper and just do that. That sets everything up nicely. So you finish off everything like that, and that's it. You're ready with 5 products, and you can take this look from morning through till evening. You can expand on it if you wish, you can tone it down if you wish, but it really just goes to show you don't need an awful lot of product to attend an event and look at your most fabulous. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Bye.